you know how like you ever watch the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You know how in like Endgame where half the Avengers are dead and they go get them all back and then they snap Thanos away, they win.
Spoilers.
This is my Endgame. It's not spoilers. The movie came out 7 years ago.
Okay.
Your kids weren't thoughts.
How to survive the classroom.
Hey, teacher besties. I am so excited to share with you that my book, They Never Taught Us That, is available for pre-order right now. It is everything inexperienced first-year teachers need to manage the chaos of the modern classroom, including some anecdotes to make you feel a little bit better, because if there is a way you can screw up, I have probably done it. It also has advice on how to build trust with families, how to manage grading and lesson plans and IEPs and everything in between that they never went over in your teacher prep program. They Never Taught Us That is available everywhere right now for pre-order. Hey, teacher besties. Welcome to How to Survive the Classroom. I am Andrea Forcum.
I'm Gerry Patoka.
And I'm very, very excited about today because Gerry's been texting me this week. Guys, he is finishing his teacher licensure paperwork right now. And because I am obviously a doctor and a professional in the field, he asked me for help and I was no help whatsoever. What is it called again? The edTPA that you're doing?
The edTPA. If you can't ask doctors for help.
I'm not. So I don't know how I fully avoided the edTPA because I got my initial licensure in Virginia and I taught there for 3 years and I got my master's degree. And then when I moved to California had a law that I had to pass like some test, but if you had your master's degree, a full license, and 3 years of experience, you didn't have to do the edTPA in California. So I transferred out and did that. And those are the only 2 states I've taught in. So I had to do like a final project thing when I got my license. Yeah, so I never had to take the edTPA. I never had to do it, but my student teachers that I worked with in California did have to do it. And good, lovely friend of the podcast, Denver, who you have not yet met, but I'm going to try and have her come on because she did do it. And so I think it would be really fun to have Denver explain to you what to do on the edTPA. And those of you guys who have been listening long enough to know Denver would know why I chuckle a little bit at the thought of that, because Denver's had some uphill battles, we'll say, with her teaching career. But it would be a delight to hear her explain it to you. So I'm trying to figure out a day that she can come on and hopefully help you. And hopefully soon, because now where are you at with your edTPA? When's it due? I guess is the best question.
You asking a lot of questions.
Oh my gosh, Gerry, when is your edTPA due?
I don't know. So here,
my gosh.
this program is self-paced.
Uh-huh.
And I got started on it and I got the ball rolling. Like I pushed the ball a little bit, but I really got the ball rolling kind of late in the game. So I'm grinding through this program, like multiple screens at a time. I'm doing all the tests and everything. I want to be a bad test taker so bad because taking tests screws with my brain. I cannot focus, but I keep passing them jokers.
Really?
Yes. At my school, we have a phrase for it. I coined it, but they kind of just roll with it. We call it, I'm going to Patoka it. I'm going to find a way that's the easiest possible way. And I'm going to do things that shouldn't be able to get done. Like we talked about the PE praxis. Praxis is hard. I've never met a PE teacher or health teacher that has not agreed the PE praxis is hard. I maybe studied for 2 hours cumulatively. That's it. I said a word right. And I may have studied for 2 hours and I passed the test kind of on nothing. And then the business one, I think I opened a Quizlet one time and I just went and sat down and passed it for the praxis both times. And I keep finding ways to meet the requirements for this program despite doing very little work. And now I'm doing a lot of work. And that's why I texted you, because I'm like, there's gotta be a way around this edTPA.
There's really not. There's really not. Because so for those of you who aren't teachers, and the edTPA is essentially a multi-section document that you are basically showing to the state that you have been teaching, that you know what you're doing when you're like, you get your teaching credentials and then you have to go and really prove that you know how to teach, which is insane. It's the most obnoxious extra stuff that I fully think that the edTPA is funded by the companies. Like here's my like absolute belief in my heart of hearts. I think that the reason you have to do the edTPA and the reason that the Praxis tests are what they are is not because it actually ensures good teaching. It is because the companies that own the graders of the edTPA, all these requirements, all these hoops you have to jump through, all these fees you have to pay, because you have to pay, most teachers have to pay out of pocket. And I think those companies have a ton of lobbyists. And I think all those lobbyists are like pushing on the state and on the federal level and saying, no, teachers need to do this because it's what's best for the kids, when there's no actual like research at all related to that. So that's my thought. Not to like further make you de-incentivized.
No. And I wish I could say this and not mean it genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
This is the toughest battle the edTPA has ever had to face. Because I'm gonna Patoka this
You're
thing.
gonna Patoka it. I know.
I'm gonna get like a really high score on it.
Yeah.
And then people are gonna be like, the edTPA is the hardest thing. I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
I love it.
I
love it so much.
I don't know.
You know what's crazy though? So you mentioned the PE Praxis being super hard. So state of Indiana recently had a couple of policies that came through, and this to me is so wild. So essentially, Indiana is like trying to lower the bar for teachers to get their licenses because there's such a huge teaching shortage in Indiana, but they don't actually want to pay teachers or treat them well. And so they're like, oh no, what can we do? And so they just keep lowering the bar. And one of the things they did is and this did not actually make it through, but one of the suggestions was they were going to remove the Praxis test for music, art, and PE completely. So when you become a teacher for any of those three things, you wouldn't have to show expertise in the subject, which is so deeply insulting to all three of those subjects of like, it actually doesn't matter what you know. Like your classes are on vibes, so it's fine. You can just roll in, do your thing. Are you going to agree with that?
No.
Gerry? The look in your eyes was like, but you probably don't need the Praxis. That's what your face just said to me.
I'm debating if I want to say it.
Say it.
What I think, having taught PE,
mm-hmm.
we'll be all right. You know, like I think we'll be fine. Like
that's why. Not everyone can just Patoka it though. Some people need,
and they can't. But like, hey, stay in the room. Keep your hands to yourself. And like I'm not saying anybody can teach PE. We've had this conversation.
Yeah,
I think it takes a special kind of person to teach PE. I don't think you can give a Praxis test to test what kind of person that is, because I'd go find a teacher and I can walk into, if I like observe the school for a day, I can tell you who can teach PE and who can't.
Yeah.
And
do you think I could teach PE?
I could tell you who could teach PE and who can't. You might. I mean, I don't know. You was just yelling at your son and it scared me a little bit. But
we were gonna cut that out. Thank you very much. No, I didn't even yell. I used my mom voice.
Scared me. But
good.
but you might. But then there's some people who can't. But if I apply to teach art, I'm gonna be like, listen, guys, I kind of just need a job. Like there's no way. There's no way I'm teaching art, you know?
Yeah. I just honestly, the biggest concern I have is that part of like the PE credentials is like, it's like PE and health together a lot of times. And like, we should probably make sure that the people who are teaching health to kids actually know about
Some
that
people
stuff.
take them separately.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I think there's a PE, a health, and a PE and health. I took PE and health.
Got
I think so I will backtrack. I do think like health, you can kind of just Google that right quick before you do it. But
great.
But like band, I'm not learning how to play the flute before class.
That one, honestly, to me is the craziest because music teachers have to number one, music teachers have the most students because elementary music teachers especially will usually teach like a huge chunk of the school because they only have music like once or twice a week. And so they have like 300, 400, 500 students that they see, and they have to be proficient in all of these different instruments and at least enough to be able to tell the student what to do. To say that that doesn't require some level of like expertise is crazy to me.
And I'd be in the band teacher's room talking about, you know how to play this? And she'd be like, yep. And I'm like, that's crazy in me, man. Like,
wild.
Like, that's wild to me. And it's like, I can go into the gym and be like, yeah, I know how to play this game, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Hey, I can pick up team handball and figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some of it you can't. Like basketball, you gotta know a thing or two. But
you're not doing that with the violin.
I can teach someone to play basketball a lot faster than I can with some drum.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, so speaking of things we do in our spare time, I know a lot of the country has been stuck inside. You are finally back at school now.
Yeah, it's 65 degrees in North Carolina right now. Last week we were snowed out.
Yeah, it's 55 right now. It's killing me to be inside. I went outside and just like stood for a second. But when I am locked inside, I a lot of times will watch all the things. And I've been watching 2 shows right now that I am absolutely obsessed with. The Pit is one of them. Have you ever watched The Pit?
No.
Okay. So it's actually written by the same people as ER. It's like a medical drama type thing. It's like if ER and 24 had a baby, that would be The Pit. And it's very good. Very, very good.
I've never seen ER and never seen 24.
I forgot you're 11.
I know Kiefer Sutherland just got arrested.
For what? What did he do? You can't drop lore like that and then just be like, I don't know. That's crazy.
Probably something he was doing in the show that got him in trouble.
Probably. I don't know. That's defamation. We should Google that real quick.
No, he did. He did.
Wait, really?
But I don't know what happened after. It wasn't. I don't think it was. I think he like threatened the Uber driver or something.
That is not the same thing as what you just said. Yeah. So you're right. He got arrested January 12th, 2026 in LA. Felony criminal threats with an Uber driver. Wow. He's like, I'm still a dangerous spy person. Apparently there's been DUI. He's got like a long history of DUIs, but he wasn't driving.
That's why he was in the Uber. He was
in the Uber. Yeah. He's moving in the right direction. We'll take it. No, it's very good. And it's a medical, The Pit is like a medical show, but it's guys, you have to watch it. It's so good. I will say both of my recommendations are not recommendations that are like watch with younger kids around or even probably like preteen kids. Because there is like nudity in different parts. In The Pit, the nudity is like medical nudity. And so like there is a scene where a guy had taken too many erectile dysfunction pills. And so do you know what they have to do if that happens and it won't go down?
No.
So when that happens, they have to stab it with a needle and they have to remove the blood because it's like so like stuck in there. And so they show a whole You are so red right now. They stab it with a needle and they drain it. So they have that part in the movie. Are you okay? Do you need to take a second? You were like bright red. Do you teach health, Gerry?
It was not that.
Yeah,
I ain't never been like sidebar.
So listen, if you want to find a good hook, that would do it. That would do it. And on the same line of things, the other show I've been watching is Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is like the Game of Thrones spinoff. Which, if you guys you've never heard of Game of Thrones or Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I heard Game of Thrones. I never saw it.
Okay.
The shows we're watching are different.
Clearly. But there's the second, where you should start is just watch the very beginning of the second episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and you'll know why I made that bridge between the two shows. So you are not watching my good shows. What are you watching?
I've been watching I started watching this like last week. And I used to watch it when it was on. I don't watch many news shows often. I've been watching My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans
Oh my gosh.
on Disney Plus. I'm watching My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans. I've been watching Animal Control with Joel McHale and Michael Rowland.
That one's good. I like that.
I've been watching that. The shows that are like playing that I was watching. I haven't watched the new seasons. Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, who plays a mobster who lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I like to watch the first 2 seasons.
Are there mobsters in Tulsa?
I don't know. I forgot to check, but I know Sylvester Stallone play one, and that show it's pretty good. It's not winning no awards, but it's pretty good.
All right.
And season 3, I think probably finished coming out like a month ago. I just haven't watched it yet. And then Shrinking season 3 just came out, and I haven't started season 3 yet.
Okay, I haven't started either, but I love Shrinking, guys. If you haven't seen Shrinking, amazing, so good.
It's one of my favorite shows ever. I like to let them get a little ahead so I can catch up. Like if I'm like so locked in, I want to watch that. I'll watch it by release. But it's like if I can get distracted and just focus on, like I've been watching My Wife and Kids. That's been out for 20 years.
It's so random what you're watching.
It's good.
I believe you.
I don't know if it can air right now. It's funny, not. And it's not like super inappropriate funny, but it's not 2026
gotcha
cable TV not appropriate. Like
yeah. I have to watch. I haven't watched that in a very long. I think I caught a few episodes, but my parents weren't big sitcom people, so
it's on Disney Plus and Hulu.
All right, there you go, guys. And mine, I think HBO and Amazon, I think, is where the other one is.
How crazy is it? Damon Wayans is a Disney prince, technically.
Is he? I guess, yeah.
He on Disney, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. It's been a long time since I've seen those shows.
That's crazy, man.
I know. Okay, so I think we have time to listen to one of the fan questions or fan stories that was sent in this week before our break. So we are going to see what you guys got for us this week.
Hey, my name's Carly. I'm a first-year high school math teacher. I have a classroom management question for you. The few minutes before the bell rings, like during the passing period, and then those first couple minutes after the bell rings are insanity in my classroom. And I don't know how to make it better. I feel like I can't get all the things done that I need to do, especially when it comes to taking attendance. Our school is really strict about tardies. And so I'm trying to, help the couple kids who are absent, get them what they need. But I have, 12 to 15 kids all coming up to me, asking me questions at the exact same time, expecting to be answered first. And they're all questions that they should know the answers to. Do we have a starter quiz? Yes, every day. Where do I get a pencil? It's that drawer over there. Am I supposed to pick up these papers? Yes, you always pick up the papers. These are things that I review regularly with them. My classroom procedures are very clear and set. I review them often. I have clear instructions on the board, and they just don't know how to help themselves. And they expect me to answer all their questions first, and then I can't help the 2 kids that actually really need my help and also take attendance and take accurate attendance. How do I get them to all stop badgering me at the same time? Right at the beginning of class. I feel like I've tried to set that boundary and I don't know how to do it better so that they figure things out on their own. And I have a couple minutes at the beginning of class to take attendance and help the couple kids that really need it. How do I do that? Please help. You're wonderful. Thank you.
Oh man, Gerry, do you have any recommendations?
You got to dunk on them kids, sweetie. They you can't let them. When them kids come in, I tell them you come in, and some of the time, like I've stepped down the hallway. I come in, them kids know where they're supposed to be when they come in. They come in, they sit in their seats, they get their Chromebook out. Everything that gets asked to me gets answered with another question, unless it's something that I know they don't know the answer to. Am I supposed to pick them papers up? I'm like, I don't know. Are you supposed to pick them papers up? They say, yeah. I'm like, all right. Why are you asking me? Can I get a pencil? Can I get a computer charger? I make them pay rent for stuff. They gotta leave a pencil. They gotta leave a shoe. Something like that. They know what it is. But yeah, like coming up, all that. I'm like, nah. What are you supposed to do? They're like, we're supposed to come in and sit down, and be quiet. I'm like, all right, what'd you do? They're like, not that. I'm like, all right, sit down, be quiet, get your computer out. I'm not doing none of that. And for kids who are like tardies, lock the door. Lock the door, shut the door. They'll knock and then let them in, and then you see who's coming in.
Yeah. I think that because number one, it sounds like you are answering their questions when they're asking them. You, I think, need to probably give your students a talk where you're like, guys, listen, I need the first 10 minutes uninterrupted. You know, you're supposed to pick up that paper. You're supposed to sit down. You're supposed to do, I think you said you have a starter quiz. That's what you're supposed to do. And you need to not speak to me until I have a chance to finish everything I got to get done. And then when I come to the front of the classroom, we can ask questions. And at first, they're not going to do it. And so I have honestly before, when I've had classes like this that were just super wild, when people start like coming up, asking questions, interrupting me, I say, okay, guys, actually, we all have to leave the class and we're going to have to come back in and we're going to have to do it the way that I've told you we need to do it. And if they start doing it again, we say, okay, sorry, guys, we're going to have to head out to the hall again. And they hate it, but it will annoy them enough that they'll start kind of policing each other and be like, dude, shut up. She's going to make us go in the hall and come back in again. Because it's like, guys, we're not in first grade, like we can handle this, assuming they're not in first grade, like, so that I think would be my biggest recommendation.
She says high school.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, no, stop answering the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I ain't never thought about it. I might start taking my kids in the hallway and be like, nah, y'all go back outside. We're not doing this. If you start answering the questions, they gonna keep asking questions. I'll say, I can't hear you if you ain't raise your hand. Well, I'm not talking to you. And if you keep answering the questions and doing it for them, why wouldn't they stop? Like, you doing it for them. You're making their lives easy. Make them think a little bit.
Yep. I think that's good advice. We nailed it. Go team. On that note, we are going to take a very quick break and then we have some more fun questions. So we will be right back. Have you ever wondered what I would say if my mother and my administrators weren't watching every single thing I do on social media? Well, that's exactly what my stand-up show is. And I'm going to be coming to a town near you super soon. You can get tickets at educatorandrea.com/tickets. All right. Welcome back, Teacher Besties. So this was a question that was submitted that I think is really fun, actually. So what is your most irrational classroom pet peeve?
I hate with the pet, and I got certain things like drills need to go okay. Fire drills, lockdown drills,
okay.
all the drills need to go well.
Yeah.
I tell them, I don't want it to be good. I don't want it to be great. We're going to be perfect. Because if somebody comes and says something to me, I'm be embarrassed. And I don't like being embarrassed. I'm going to come back on y'all for that. I don't like people talking while I'm talking. I think that's universal. It gets on my nerves. My biggest one, and I don't think it bothers many people to do me. If they leave my room and when they leave that door was closed and they leave that door open, I snap. Shut my door. Shut my classroom door. Because them kids run up and down the hallways making all this noise. And there ain't no kids in my class doing that. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go crazy. If these kids come out of my room and doing that, I don't like it. And I will, my classroom's right by the bathrooms. So I'm not faulting the teachers on my hallway. Because the kids get down the hallway, they start making noise, and I'm not going to hear it. But when they do, they're always coming my direction. Yeah. Or it's lunches transitioning. We're also right by the cafeteria and there's people coming down. There's just a hot spot for noise right outside my room. And I'm like, no, close my door. I don't want to hear all that.
Yeah.
And my room stays quiet. We ain't doing nothing. When we talk, I'll decide when we talking and they know when to lock it down. And if it's quiet and we're working, we're quiet and we're working. I don't need all the extra nonsense. And if you leave my door, you ain't got no home training and you don't shut that door. So I've gone before and locked the door and shut it.
Really?
I'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, why you locked down? I'd be like, you ain't shut my door. I've made them before come in the room. I'd be like, okay, close the door. They close. I'm like, open the door. Close the door. Open the door. Close. I will do it however many times you think I do it. I do it a couple more than that. Then what? You got it down now? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
That's so petty. I love it.
No, they don't.
I love
They
it.
don't close my door. I'm gonna lay in front of the door.
That I I don't know if so even at the college, I do tend to keep my door closed because even in college, no one's running and screaming up and down the halls, but people will be just walking up and down the halls chatting or whatever, and it's awkward for both of us if someone's coming by and just yapping and they kind of like look in the classroom. So my irrational one, which I don't think either of these are like fully irrational, but I'm gonna do it at home infuriates me with oh, I get so mad. I was especially right after we came back from the pandemic, and I had these kids that they had done nothing. Like, we had absolutely nothing completed on the grade book. I would give them class time because that was the other big push and emphasis is like, don't give them homework. You don't know what they have going on at home. So we're going to do stuff in class. We're going to give class time so you can support them, help them through it, right? And then these freaking kids would be like, no, miss, I'm going to do it at home. And then they'd be watching like, what's that really horrifying teen show that was like really popular for a while?
Pretty Little Liars.
No, it was like a little bit after Pretty Little Liars.
13 Reasons Why.
Euphoria.
That's way after.
Yes, I didn't. How old do you think I am? I haven't been teaching. This was like 5 years ago.
Those
Not
Those
20
shows were
years.
on when you were teaching.
13 Reasons Why was, yeah, because that one also got me real mad because it got really
Pretty Little
popular.
Liars was newer than that, wasn't it?
I don't know. I never watched any of those shows, so I don't know, including Euphoria. I actually haven't seen any of them other than over the shoulder of my students when I'm telling them to put away their Chromebooks and stop watching shows during my class. That one infuriates me, like, to no end. Like, no, I'm just going to do it at home. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Just be honest with yourself and be honest with me that it's not going to I would always rather have a student be straight up honest with me and be like, I'm just going to take the L on this one. All right. Okay. Well, I can't force you to do anything.
Sometimes they're like, and because there's other little things that bother me, and if they're just like, no, I'm gonna do this, I'm like, at least you standing on business. Like, I don't like it, but it's like at least you being honest with me. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah. I remember vividly actually when I was in high school, I would pass notes to my friends because we had cell phones, but we had to pay per text when I was in high school. So back in my day, if you were texting your friends during class, that was crazy. That's 10 cents a text. That's insane. You couldn't be doing that. Yeah. Yeah, Gerry, let me tell you how it was back in my day. All right. We had insane.
I knew how it worked, but I forgot. Isn't it crazy now? Because some people like I do it. I text in different thoughts, so you'll get 4 or 5 texts from me because I'm not texting on one bubble. And man, I just spent 50 cents.
Exactly. It was insane. I remember there was a couple of times where I was texting with my friends and then the phone bell came and it was a real surprise to all of us. And I was in a lot of trouble. So in my class, if you wanted to communicate, you guys were actually like writing down, like passing notes. And I was passing notes in my English class and I really loved my English teacher. I thought she was so cool and so smart. And, so I would be passing notes in her class and I would do it really obviously. Like I wasn't like trying to be sneaky with it or anything. I would just be like, hey, and I would like hand it to my friend, right? And she came over, she's like, Andrea, I can see you. And I was like, no, I know. I don't want to insult your intelligence by trying to do it like sneakily. Like, I'm doing it. I know you know. So what, like, why are we playing games? And she's like, but like, you got to give me plausible deniability. Stop showing me that you're passing notes in class. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. And so then I had to try and be a little bit sneakier. But she's like, dude, what are you doing?
You ever have a teacher take it and read it?
Not allowed. Like, not like read it for the class. But I'm sure that, yeah, I'm sure that I had notes discovered and all sorts of secrets.
I kind of wish I had taught in them days.
In the days when you could just like basically
I ain't taking
pick
nobody's
up
phone and reading the text.
God, can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine if a student showed you like a picture or something and like I don't even like when anyone shows me their phone, period, because I don't know what's gonna I don't know what messages they're gonna get. I don't know what's gonna pop up on the screen. And I've had people that like will take the phone and they'll start to scroll, and I'm like, you are a bold individual because you just don't know what's on people's
Yeah.
phones. You really don't. It's terrifying. I can't imagine
Yeah,
doing
no,
that with a
that's crazy.
student's phone. Oh,
I wish I could take some notes because I wouldn't read the note aloud, but
Mhm.
I would lie. I'm gonna read the note and I'm gonna write my own plot.
I love that. That actually sounds.
I'm be like, I'm Maria. I'm like, you for real? They do that for real?
You know, Gerry, you say that as if you couldn't do that and pretend that you found the note and like create your own lore. Like students probably would know that you
I'm
didn't
gonna
write.
start carrying paper around with me and be like, like it's the
Yeah,
Constitution. Just
exactly. Just unroll it like a scroll and be like, let's talk about what we have here today in this classroom full of young pupils. It would be great. That also sounds like an excellent setup for a bit in a stand-up set is like trying to like create lore for your students and all of that kind of
I'm
stuff.
trying to keep track of all the things like I say to clown the kids.
Uh-huh.
Like I just started today. I'm pretty sure I have an existing note where I've done it before. I told one kid today he smelled like a foot with cologne on.
That's so good because I can exactly pinpoint what that would smell like. And I think that
Yeah. I
it's probably
said
accurate.
somebody. He said somebody having cologne. I said you put the whole bottle on. He's like, nah. He said somebody I just got the bottles 100 ounces. He put on 98 of them, brother. Like what?
Oh my gosh. It's good.
They
They
can't do
need
nothing
that.
around me.
They need to be humbled. I'm trying to think of a hill I would die on. I do feel pretty strongly about the pet peeves. I feel like those are very close to a hill that we would die on. I don't think I have any individual new hills other than
I think you did it with the edTPA thing. That felt like a hill you would die on.
that's true. So that
I
was
don't
my
even know what
hill.
it stands for.
Me neither, actually. Teacher
Ed, teachers, PA.
education. Hold on, let's see.
Oh yeah,
Does it
ed gotta be education. That's the whole thing.
edTPA stands for
Educational teacher prep assistants.
no. It's so obnoxious. It stands for educative, which I did not know that was a word.
Me either.
Educative.
They made that one up.
Educative teacher performance assessment.
That sounds like something that that sounds like a performance enhancing drug.
It does. Yeah. I think they should be investigated.
I
hate
like
it.
that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
What if we get on here next week? I'm done.
Then you would have Patoka
I
it. And
I finished it. I got Patoka.
I need
They
you.
don't-
Well, that if that's the case, then we need to have Denver on here so you can teach her how to Patoka things because she does whatever is like the opposite of that. She like shroots it sometimes.
You can't teach it.
It just has to be like
you either do it or you don't. Here's my thing going into it. I have Patokaed so many things since I started teaching and working in schools. I mean, every year I've had to Patoka something, except for when you're like legit to the point that they're like, man, Patoka might not be able to come back if you don't get this figured out. And I figured it out at the buzzer. Last year, I figured it out with 2 weeks left of school.
what did you figure out?
So the program I was in, I was behind on a couple payments, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, you're able to log in and pay whatever doesn't hit your account. No, it doesn't really affect you. I didn't think, and I was behind, and I didn't have the money to pay for it. And I found out they wouldn't sign my temporary license until it got paid. And I was like, yo, I gotta find the money. And
So you sold feet pics.
I figured stuff out. That makes it sound like I did sell feet pics. I did not do that. I got lucky, got a loan, paid it, and then it took them forever to approve it and send the money over. And legit, like 2 weeks left in the school year, they send the money over. My paperwork gets signed. I'm good for another year. One of them was my college GPA was low, and I couldn't get accepted into a prep program. Nobody would take my undergrad GPA, and then this program was like, "Oh, hold on, you passed your Praxis already? Oh, that waives the GPA. You're good."
Incredible.
And they let me in, Patokaed, and there's just been something every like one time we they had to smooth positions around, And this was the first big one of them was I was trying to get a teaching job. That wasn't that big a Patoka. That one was fine. The first big Patoka was I had to move from PE and couldn't teach anything else. I had to go take a Praxis in like the last month of school and make sure I passed. I had like one chance to pass it. It was the business when I passed it, and they moved me into business. That was a Patoka. And here's
My
the thing: I've done all
goodness.
this Patokaing. I have all the experience, and as far as I can tell, this is the last one I'll have to do for a long time. So
We
this
love
is
it.
my grand finale of Patokaing something.
The grand Patoka. I love that.
This is my final trick.
I love
This
it.
is what
You're-
I got it. I'm
You're like
on
an
Lux.
inspirational story for everyone. They're going to make movies about you. It's amazing. It's just gonna
You know how like you ever watch the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You know how in like Endgame where half the Avengers are dead and they go get them all back and
Yeah.
then they snap Thanos away, they win.
Spoilers.
This
yes.
is my Endgame. It's not spoilers. The movie came out 7 years ago.
Okay.
Your kids weren't thoughts.
I don't think it's been that long, but fair.
It has
Okay, wait.
been.
Before we let everyone off to go and Patoka their lives, where are you going to be? Do you have any shows other than this weekend? Next weekend, when you are going to be in Indianapolis. Although, sadly, this episode I think comes out after that. But what other shows do you have coming up?
I will be at Brass Tap in Raleigh, North Carolina on February 27th. And I will be at Waterline Distillery in Wilmington, North Carolina on March 4th. And Mystic Distillery in Durham, North Carolina on March 6th. And that's all I can think of that comes out after this episode is released.
Perfect. I'm going to be with the Teachers Lounge in DC and Philly. Philly, actually, we added a second show because the first one sold out. So make sure to get your tickets for that. And then I'm going to be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, March 21st, New York City, March 22nd. And then end of the month in April, April 25th and 26th, I'm going to be in Kansas City and Nixa, Missouri. And then we just added on May 17th, New Orleans. And I'm going to be doing a conference in Indianapolis June 20th. So lots and lots of dates. You guys can get my tickets at educatorandrea.com. And you can find me at educatorandrea on Instagram and TikTok. And you can find Gerry
at Comedy About GP on Instagram and TikTok.
That was so smooth this time. That was amazing. I love it. I am your host, Andrea Forcum.
I'm Gerry Patoka.
Our executive producers are Andrea Forcum, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke. Our editor is Andrew Sims. Our engineer is Jason Portizo. Our music is by Omar Bensby. To learn more about how to survive the classroom's program disclaimer and ethics policy and submission, verification, and licensing terms, you can go to podcasterandrea.com. How to Survive the Classroom is a human content production.
How to survive the classroom.
Thank you so much for watching. Want more of How to Survive the Classroom? You can watch more episodes right now. Just click on that little box over there. You see it? And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Okay, bye.